All right, now I'm going to try to show you how I create alcohol or any other food, I guess, but primarily alcohol because I have a lot of people that want to plug in alcohol. And guess what? Typically, when you pull up a label for something with alcohol, it doesn't have protein, carbs, and fat. It might have carbs that are like 2 or something, but it has calories, right? So let's think, for instance, let's just say like a White Claw. So a White Claw has 100 calories. I'm not looking at one right now. I just know that they are about 100 calories. It might say there's something for carbs in there. I don't know. If you read through my starting guide, you'll see that I have a little idea, I suppose, of how you need to track alcohol, because if you go in MyFitnessPal and you track things, there isn't actually anywhere to track alcohol, right? So it just has carbs, fat, protein, fiber, but we know that calories are made up of carbs, fat, and protein, right? So how do we track alcohol? Well, let's just pretend today I'm going to have a White Claw. Let's see what pops up here. So White Claw, correct, 12 ounces, 100 calories. Okay, so let me go put it into the nutrition info. So, okay, here, I don't even need to have the White Claw in front of me. I can just pull it up from what somebody's entry on MyFitnessPal says. It says 100 calories, it says 0 fat, it says 2 carbs, and it says 0 protein. Damn, my guesses were really good. So, no, this data is not correct. If I cared to mess with it, I could put no, but it doesn't really matter. How am I going to know how many carbs, how many fat, how many protein you're getting if we don't have any of those things in White Claw? Because if it literally only had 2 carbs, then it would only have 8 calories, because we know that for every gram of carbohydrate, there are 4 calories. So last I checked, White Claws are not 8 calories. In fact, they are about 100 calories. So we're going to need to create our own food. So can't find what you're looking for? Add food to the database. Brand. We're just going to put Crystals. Do I know how to spell my name? White Claw. All right, food description. Again, I'm just going to put the same thing because I don't really care. All right, Crystals White Claw. This is mine. This is mine. We think, nope, this is not a duplicate. Okay, so here's my White Claw. One serving is 1 12-ounce can. We'll say servings per container. 1. Okay, so I can get rid of that one. So 12-ounce can, 1 serving, there are 100 calories. So how do I do this? Well, where do the calories come from? You have 2 choices to make here. You can either say that your White Claw comes from just carbs, or you can say it's a combination of fat and carbs. What we do need to put here, though, is 0. 0 grams of protein. We don't care about anything else. Let's pretend I wanted to calculate it as just carbs. All right, so if there's 100 calories, and if there are 4 calories for every gram of carbohydrate, then we take 100 divided by 4, and that gives us 25 carbs. All right, so actually up here I'm going to put Crystals White Claw carbs, so that I know when I'm going to track that in my food diary, I can actually see that I'm only choosing to track this as carbs if that's what I so choose to do, right? So would you like to add this food to your diary? Yep, I'm going to have it right now in my meal 4, which is obviously a lie, but I also need to put in 0 for the fat. So make sure you got 25 carbs, 0 protein, 0 fat, nothing else matters. Save and create another, because I'm going to show you what else to do. All right, so next up we're going to do Crystals, don't know how to type, White Claw carbs. Well, let's do fat and carbs. Continue. Nope, still not a duplicate. I see everybody else's fun stuff. Good for them. We're going to do a 12-ounce can, and we get 1 serving. Okay, so here's where we start again with 0 protein, no protein. So now I'm going to do some math here. Let me see. I have a calculator down here for you. I don't know where it's at. So whatever. I'm going to do this just on my own because I have a calculator on my phone. So 100 divided by 2, obviously, is 50. Don't worry, I did not need a calculator for that, all right? Because we're going to split half the calories up between fat and half the calories up between carbs. Because again, we have to track White Claw as something, and we want to know where our carbs, where our fat is coming from, but there aren't any carbs or fat in White Claw, so we pretend, because protein is something we really need to be cognizant of. We need to track that specifically each time. However, when it comes to fat and carbs, we just kind of let those lay where they may, and that's the strategy I use with most of my clients with flexible dieting. Again, some of you like to do particular macros where you're doing carbs, fat, and protein, but most of you are going to get just as great results by just tracking calories and protein. So the fact of the matter is that this 0 for protein is very important. The carbs and fat, they just show us how we get to the certain amount of calories that we're consuming throughout the day. So now I'm going to use my calculator because I'm awesome. 50 divided by 4, because again, we said that for every gram of carbohydrate, you get 4 calories. So if 50 of the calories from this White Claw are coming from carbs, we're going to take 50 divided by 4. That gives us 12.5. So we got to round up. It's about 13 grams of 13 grams of carbs that we're getting from our White Claw. Don't forget to put in the calories right here of 100. So now half the calories came from carbs. The other half has to come from fat. So we do 50 divided by 9, because we know that for every gram of fat, there are 9 calories. So 50 divided by 9 is 5.55. So we're just going to put 5.5. I guess I could do that for the carbs as well, 12.5. Sorry, guys, I'm all over the place, but just trying to do some basic stuff here to give you an idea. You could totally round those numbers. You could round this to 13. You could round this up to 6, whatever. But the fact of the matter is you got to track alcohol as something other than just 2 carbs, because that is completely 100% false. Yes, I want to add this to my meals, and we're going to add it to meal 5, and we're going to save it. Okay, so now if you go look at my diary, meal 4, there's that carbs only one. 100 calories, 25 grams of carbs. Everything else is 0. All right. When it comes to the second one, we recorded that as both fat and carbs. So it rounds for us. Doesn't really matter. 13 carbs and 6 fat. So again, it just rounded up on those figures that we calculated. But that is how you get your alcohol calculations in MyFitnessPal. Anytime you want to create a food, pretty basic, pretty easy. And if you're drinking other alcoholic beverages that are 100 calories, you could just use this every time. You don't have to keep making up like, oh, Miller Lite, 100 calories, great. Oh, Truly, 100 calories. If you have a 100 calorie alcoholic beverage, it doesn't matter if it's White Claw or not. You could literally just record either of these in your food log, and that would be just fine for me. I don't care about exactly what you're drinking, but I do care about the nutrition components of what it is that you're drinking, all right?